Hello everyone. Welcome to Hindu Editorial Reading, Pictorial, Vocabulary and Analysis. So Diction Addiction is presenting this series. Diction Addiction dissect the editorial into four sections. Pictorial primer, under which we'll start, we'll see the introduction part. Treasure hunt, under which vocabulary will be dissected. Loudspeaker, under which we'll read the article. Nutshell, under which we'll summarize the article. Pictorial primer. So the article is published to create awareness of COVID-19 guidelines as well as the upcoming New Year celebrations. So we all are very much known to celebrate the New Year with a great enthusiasm. We'll meet the people, greet the people, gather the people. But this is not the right time to greet or meet or talk with directly. So avoid meet, greet, or sit together at this condition. That's what is the today's article essence. Caution. Next, we will see the treasure hunt. You know, I forgot to tell you that today's article title is Caution Pace on Center COVID-19 Surveillance Guidelines. Before going into the article, first we will see what are the different words which are going to play important role in the article. Those words will be learning first, then we'll move into the article under the treasure hunt. The first one is threshold. 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 A strip of wood of or stone forming the bottom of the doorway and crossed in entering house. It's almost like, I say it's an entrance. Entrance, you say house is having entries. That entries you call it a threshold. You say example, on the threshold of new year. On the threshold of new year, we are about to enter into the new year. That's what they use, the threshold word, threshold, on the threshold of new year. Second word is trajectory. 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 It means path or a track. And the corresponding figure you see, this is a ball he has thrown. This guy has thrown this ball. But the way it is going, the path which is it has moved to the up to this direction, this lane or this path you call it as a trajectory. Trajectory. So usage you can see as overall cases maintain a downward trajectory. It means that cases are going downward. So number of cases are going down by the day by day. That's what they mean. Third word is anecdotal. 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 It means not necessarily true or reliable, or it is it's a full of stories. You can see if some people says the situations with their own stories. So if there is a one or 10%, 1 to 20% is reality, remaining 80 to 80 to 90% is imaginary. So it is not reliable. In that case, you say anecdotal. So you see here anecdotal evidence points to infection spreading in commercial centers and workplace. It is not scientific. But people are talking about that, where the infections are spreading in the commercial center because customers and people who are working in that center are mingling to shop, to sell, to transact the everything. So they say that it is anecdotal evidence, means it's not reliable evidence. To anecdotal evidence points to inspections spreading in commercial centers and workplaces. And the fourth one here, morbidities, 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 morbidities. It means that a disease state or a symptom, or it's a ill health. Usage, you can see a large section of the population has been able to shelter from the coronavirus, particularly the elderly and people with the morbidities. So morbidities means who are having certain ill. That's what is a morbidity. Comorbidities, morbidities, that's what is a disease state. Next one is VIZIL. VIZZIL, VIZIL. A period of keeping awake during the time usually spent asleep. So someone is spending without sleeping in the night time. That's what that period you say whistle. You see, this guy is watching TV, so without sleeping. That's a night time. So that's process you call as a whistle. Relaxing the whistle now is bound to prove costly for them. Those people who are not wearing the mask, social distancing, or hand sanitization, going to the crowd, those people have to pay the cost because they are not following the COVID-19 guidelines. Next one is accord, ACCORD, accord means giving permission. Give or grant someone some permission you are giving. That's what is accord. See, you can see the example. It is essential, therefore, for a states and all citizen to accord the Home Ministry guidelines on surveillance, containment, and caution for January the highest importance. So January being the most important because uh, people will have a lot of fun by gathering. So that's why home ministry guidelines are so important uh, to contain the virus, to stop the spreading of virus. Next one is underscores. UNDERSCORES, underscores. For example, when you are writing exam, generally people will write the important points, they'll underline or they'll make a box. In the right side, you can see here the red rectangle is underscoring the important points. This is what is underscore. Means you want to emphasize something that is very important that you say underscores. Example, you see that the UK variant of the virus has now been found in India, underscores the point that easing off on testing, tracing, and containment could prove dangerous. If someone doesn't care about the new variant, in case of testing, tracing, and containment, that proves the very dangerous. Means it will spread very quickly, and it will catch everyone, and we all have to go to the hospital. That's what that here we are using underscores means emphasis, more emphasis. That's what. Next one is likelihood. LIKELIHOOD, likelihood. It means probability. And next one is footprint. FOOTPRINT. Footprint means the footstep. You can see here footsteps, black ones. Third countries. Their third countries means the countries which are not part of European Union or United States. They are called as third countries. Especially, you see in the picture, the yellow one is completely European Union, and the green one is the United States, and the here Australia. Rest all is in red zone, red color. They are called as third countries. Next one is a bubble, means operating. Example, you can see this mutant is likely to have initially traveled to several locations before it was detected, and there is a likelihood that its footprint may cover third countries from which India continues to operate bubble flights. Here, what author wants to say is that we have banned the travel, air travel between UK and India, but we are having flights between the different countries. So when the strain has reached India, similarly the strain might have reached the other third world countries. From there, if you are operating the flights, there is a probability to enter the strain from the third world countries also. If you ban only UK, that doesn't score anything. So you have to ban the complete air travel. That's what his author mean. Next one is recalled. 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 It means bring back into one's mind or remember. You say, can you recall that incident? Means you're remembering, you're recollecting the incident happened. That's what is a record. Sometimes that's what is a record. Next one is adherence. 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 Attachment or commitment to a person, cause, or a belief. So when rules, guidelines are there, if you are following some guidelines, that is what is a adherence. You are sticking to the adhesive means which will stick to the particular thing, that is adhesive. From that adherence means you are sticking to the guidelines or some rules. Example, you see the Home Ministry has recalled the orders of the Supreme Court in a sumo to repetition on December 18th, calling for strict adherence to COVID-19 appropriate behavior, especially during the New Year celebrations. Strict to the, adherence to the COVID-19 rules. Whatever you do everything, but you strict to the COVID-19 rules. What are those? Wearing a mask, social distancing, hand sanitization, and avoid gathering. These are things which are very important. These are the guidelines for the COVID-19 containment. So that's what you say adherence. Next one is deployment. DEPLOYMENT. Deployment mean the movement of troops or equipment to a place or a position for military action. Deployment of police personnel, deployment of army wherever there is a need, so that we can control the law and order situation. Especially you see in the New Year time, youth and other age people also behave like a youth only. So they don't mind to do anything and everything. So in that case, this situation is not at all conducive to do celebrations. So if we don't listen, we know that people won't listen, especially on that day. So Supreme Court asked the states and center to deploy the as many as police people at different popular locations like eateries, vegetable market, fish market, or you say cinema halls, wherever is a public gathering is, there is a probability to gather. That's what deployment. Example, you see the court wanted deployment of more police personnel at places where people are likely to gather, such as food courts, eateries, vegetable markets, and bus and train stations. Next one is infringed. 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 It means actively break the terms of law or agreement. If someone is breaking the existing law, that's what is infringed. Infringed elements means antisocial. They are not following the standard norms. They are called as infringed. You see example, it made the valid observation that careless people infringed other citizens' right to life by ignoring the use of mask and social distancing, while various protocols had failed to stop the virus spreading like wildfire due to lack of implementation. Those who are infringing means, like say, as I said earlier also, some people who are not bothered to wear the mask or social distancing, so they're actually infringing the life of others. If you don't wear a mask, then if you have a virus, that will be transferred to the next immediately person. That's why wearing a mask is protecting yourself as well as the person who is around you. So it is a social, it's not wearing a mask and maintaining social distance. It's not only saves you, it also saves the society. So that's what is here. Infringe means those who are not willing to listen to the guidelines and trying to keep the others' lives also risk. That's what you say infringed. Next one is wildfire. It is very common. You can see we listen wildfire in the America, wildfire in Australia. Wildfire means the one which cannot be controlled with the involvement of human. That is what is a wildfire. So coronavirus is spreading like a wildfire. It has started in the China. It has reached the every inch of the world. So that's what you say wildfire means we cannot control. Next one is mandated. Give someone authority to act in certain way. Government was also mandated by the court, Article 21, to ensure that it invests sufficiently in its hospitals and those of local administration, acknowledging the right to health and affordable treatment for all. Government mandated. There is no option. You have to work on it. That's what is a mandated means. When you don't have option for yourself to work, there you use the mandated. So court has directed the government to invest the sufficient amount to develop the health infrastructure in the districts and rural areas. So that's what you are concerned about. Mandated means when a court says, government has to act on it. That's a mandated. That's where you use the mandated. Complaints. COMPLIANCE. Complaints. It means conforming to a rule such as specifications, policy, standard, or law. You see, here you can see one person exactly. Your other person is also standing. If he is deviating, they have to deviate. So, according to the law, according to law, you have to behave. That behavior is called as a complaints. Next one is surveillance. SURVEILLAANCE. Surveillance. Close observation, especially of suspected spy or a criminal. Generally, it is used under the for the case of criminals and thief. But the meaning is that whatever activity the people of country are doing, they are under surveillance. It means that someone has to monitor very carefully so that people will be uh, people will be careful to do whatever they require they will do. So at this moment, people are supposed to follow the guidelines. If someone is not following guidelines, they have to be traced and they have to ask them to follow the guidelines. Next one is backbone. B-A-C-K, backbone. B-O-N-E, bone. It means cheap support of a system or organization. Backbone. You are the backbone of the house. It means that what you are financially, morally, are supporting the running of a family. That's what you say backbone. You see, if you don't have a backbone, you have to bend, right? So backbone is making you to stand and work. So that's what is a backbone. Example, you can see governments should seize the opportunity presented by the pandemic and set up a public health backbone in all states, in cities and rural areas to do the monitoring. That's what is a backbone. You can see here the picture, the structure is standing structure, vertical structure. It's because you have a backbone in the in back. With that backbone only, remaining all organs are organized. That's how it's a backbone. Now we have come to the loudspeaker. Under loudspeaker, we will read the article. Today's article title is Caution Pace on Center's COVID-19 Surveillance Guidelines. On the threshold of New Year, the COVID-19 pandemic no longer seems terrifying to many, as overall cases maintain a downward trajectory and massive vaccination program is set to roll out. Normal life has resumed in substantial measure. There is a scaling of long distance travel. Elections have been held and mass protests are being organized. At the same time, critical activities such as on campus education remain mostly suspended, and many senior citizens are unable to access periodic health checks. Anecdotal evidence points to infections spreading in commercial centers and workplaces. Therefore, there is a long way to go before people can really put the pandemic behind them. A large section of the population has been able to shelter from the coronavirus, particularly the elderly and people with the morbidities. Relaxing the vigil now is bound to prove costly for them. It is essential, sorry, it is essential, therefore, for states and all citizens to accord the Home Ministry guidelines on surveillance, containment, and caution. For January, the highest importance that the UK variant of the virus has now been found in India underscores the point that easing off on testing, tracing, and containment could prove dangerous. This mutant is likely to have initially traveled to several locations before it was detected, and there is a likelihood that its footprint may cover third countries from which India continues to operate bubble flights. The Home Ministry has recalled the orders of the Supreme Court in Sumoto writ petition on December 18th, calling for strict adherence to COVID 19 appropriate behavior, especially during the New Year celebration. The court wanted deployment of more police personnel at places where people are likely to gather, such as food courts, eateries, vegetable markets, and bus and train stations. It made the valid observation that careless people infringed other citizens' right to life by ignoring the use of mask and social distancing, while various protocols had failed to stop the virus spreading like wildfire due to lack of implementation. The government was also mandated by the court under Article 21 to ensure that it invests sufficiently in its hospitals and those of local and administration, acknowledging the right to health and affordable treatment for all. Now that the courts is seized of this issue, states can be asked to individually report their complaints when the bench it up again in a month. Even with a steadily expanding base of vaccinated individuals, surveillance and cautions are essential. Governments should seize the opportunity presented by the pandemic and set up the public health backbone in all states, in cities and rural areas to do the monitoring. This will have the twin advantage of rapidly advancing the universal health coverage through the health and wellness centers. This is all about under loudspeaker. Next, we will move to the nutshell. Here you see in the nutshell, this is what is the picture I'm presenting from the World Bank, where it tells you the number of beds which are present in the government hospital for 1,000 people. You see here, India, where it is marked in the red color, it is having 0.55 bed in government hospital for 1,000 people. And I'm not showing the remaining parameters like how many doctors or how many midwives or nurses. They're also in the similar range. It tells you that there is a lot of there is a lot of scope to improve the facilities in the government hospitals. So government has to take this opportunity as a challenge and invest in the public health sector so that people will have a easy access to the easy access to the their primary care. So this is what all from my side for today's article. If at all you like the article, way of presentation, just you give a like. If at all you want to, you don't want to miss the article on regular basis, please do subscribe. Thank you all for watching patiently. Thank you all for the day. See you tomorrow.